Well, my fellow Drifter Man X, is this the best RC crawler under $100? Well, I've just purchased this HobbyPlus CR24, which has come in just 2 days over the Christmas period. That's outstanding, just like the spec of this car. Fully waterproof electrics, 4-wheel drive, lock differentials, and a battery that claims to have a staggering run time of 45 minutes. Just for a smidgen under 90 bucks. How does it handle? We'll find out later on in this video. And check those lights out. Well, Rich here, and I hope all my fellow Drifter Men had a happy Christmas day. Today we have got for your perusal the HobbyPlus CR24 crawler. Now, I've actually purchased this from Main Hobbies last week and it actually arrived on Christmas Eve, 2 days shipping. So big shout out to the shipping department at Main Hobbies for getting this here. Anyway, what is there to like about this? Well, Main have just started shipping the HobbyPlus car range, and I've always quite fancied an Axial SEX24. At around about 120 bucks, I was sitting on a fence. However, here in California, we are in the shelter in place at the minute, and that's likely to be extended. So I'm thinking some smaller scale stuff that I can use locally would be a very good idea. A lot to like about this. For start with the price, just under $90. Completely ready to run, 4-wheel drive, metal chassis, waterproof electrics on the thing, 2.4 gigahertz radio, so nothing is going to interfere with that. Internal bead lock wheels. For less than $90, that spec is ticking all the boxes for me before I get it out the box. And that body, and as we'll see when we get it open, it is packed full of scale features. Anyway, let me open this, but at 90 bucks, if you like it, I'll put a link to it below the video. Anyway, let me get the HobbyPlus CR24 unboxed, charged up, and let's take it out for a test drive. Okay, we've got an instruction manual, a couple of tools, a USB charger for the battery, which is becoming more and more commonplace. Anyway, let's get the car out of the box, transmitter out from underneath. Well, before we get to the car, let me briefly talk about the transmitter, because you might be thinking at this price point, it's a cheap and cheerful transmitter. This is exactly the same one that ships with a $150 Losi Mini B and my Mini Pro Boat jet boat. So this is the one that is shipping with a lot of Horizon Hobby products, although I think HobbyPlus is not a Horizon Hobby brand. And it's quite a functional transmitter, even though it's small in size. It has reversible throttle and steering using the buttons on there. It also has steering trim, throttle trim, steering dual rate, and throttle dual rate as well. Oh, and I would just point out, at this price point, I've remembered it does come with working LED lights on the car, which we'll fire up in just a minute. Just check out the tyre tread. As I say, they are internal beadlock wheels on the car. You've got the little snorkel there. The luggage rack on the roof. Super scale. Certainly a little bit of hint of G-Wagon about it. Maybe not the front, but certainly the back. I'm actually quite impressed with it from the outset. Well, I'm loving the colour on this and the super scale details. Is this going to be the best RC crawler under $100? I think it might well be. And I would say these tyres are super soft. That is designed to grab, if you like, and curl up on the rocks like that. So I have a feeling this thing is going to motor over stuff, ground clearance permitting, obviously. Okay, I have no idea what to expect under here. A little bit of care needs to be taken because that's our lead going to the front and rear LED lights on the car. Well, look at the front of the car. We've got a fairly sturdy scale bumper on the front, chassis mounted micro servo on here, combined ESC and receiver, which you'd expect at this price point, 55 turn brushed motor on here, and that looks to be a 1S 500 milliamp battery. What, Richie? A 500 milliamp battery? They actually claim this car will run for 45 minutes on that battery. I shall try and put that to the test, but given its weight, which is just absolutely tiny. In fact, how light is it? That's a smidgen over 9 ounces, so I can safely say I think we're on for that 45 minutes. And that's taking into account all of the electrics, and you've got a metal ladder frame chassis on here. Obviously, a lot of plastic at this price point on the car. We've got a smooth underplate on there. Doesn't look like that's going to snag on too much. Plastic drive shafts. Both front and rear differentials are locked full time. And those tyres, I just can't get away from how grippy they're going to look to be. Fully adjustable body posts on it. You can get a wide range of bodies for this, but I went for the green because that really sort of popped out at me. Anyway, let me get the USB charger out of the bag. Let's get that battery on charge. And whilst the battery's charging, Quick look at the manual shows us we've got full exploded diagrams and a full list of parts, definitely hobby grade. The battery's all charged up, so let's see how the HobbyPlus CR24 handles.
Well, I found this beam in the park next to my house. Time to go across it.
Well, we might as well start out with something a little more challenging than average, and that beam is actually about 3 foot off the ground.
More than a slight test of skill.
Well, for its size, the HobbyPlus CR24 seems to be punching way above its weight. You have to bear in mind it's only got about an inch and a half of ground clearance on there, so you're a bit of care taken on your line. But it's great fun to have in small spaces, making it ideal for when we're under shelter in place, like we are here in Northern California at the minute. And that is not making too bad work at all, he says, and then we get stuck. We just bottom out on there, but a little bit of power gets us over. Not bad at all. And a super strong drag brake on the car comes into its own. This is probably about a 45 to 50 degree slope on there, and you ease up and the thing just stops instantly. Doesn't have a lot of weight to tip it over. Just remember guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. Now for something a little more challenging. The ground clearance might be an issue on these pebbles, but I'm thinking the key to this is keeping the momentum going. Not that it has a lot of momentum, weighing just 9 ounces on that, but it will battle through them. It's not doing too badly given the fact the thing's only got an inch ground clearance, inch and a half. But we're going to bottom out on bigger ones like that. But pick the right line. But now most crawlers are going to make fairly short work of this, but bear in mind these are like giant boulders compared to the size of the car. The key seems to be to keep the thing moving and avoid the larger rocks that it might get bottomed out on. But it's doing way better than I ever thought it would do on here. Just literally, so like some of these are like a Jeep going up like a 4 foot high boulder. But the motor on it seems to have plenty of torque.
Well, given its diminutive size, the CR24 punches way above its weight, and I can certainly believe that 45-minute battery time.
I'll be right back.
Full throttle coming up here. Not exactly flying along. In terms of scale speed, that is monstering up there. And in reality, anyway, I think it's time we put it on the climb board to see just how high an incline it can get up. Time for the incline test. Got it on 48 degrees there. Let's see how we get on. Got the approach angle. Next to no weight in this thing, bear in mind. Except it's wanting to angle down at the back. The weight at the back of the spare wheel, as tiny as it is in the body, is actually pulling the car back. I can't help thinking, with a couple of weights on here, this thing should absolutely motor up here. So with a little bit of weight on the front of the HobbyPlus CR24, are we going to be able to get up this 48 degrees? Going to be tight. Have your guesses right now. I have a feeling if I can keep the front wheels down, which I'm struggling to, and we're still wanting to tip back. Oh, we're off and running. 3 wheels on my wagon, and we're still rolling along. 48 degrees. Can we make this? Come on, come on, come on.
Come on, come left, come left, come left. Only 3 wheels. Oh, you have to be kidding me. Well, I think it's a bridge too far today. 48 degrees, but we got up to about there before tumbling back. A little bit more work on the car. I think it would fly up that.
So what do we think of the CR24, people? I stand by my statement I made at the start. I think this is the best RC crawler for under $100 on the market today. Yeah, sure, it's the new boy, but I have driven enough RC cars to know a little gem when I see one. And for a smidgen under $90, you just can't overlook this thing. Comparing it to something like the Axel SCX24 Jeep, you're looking around about $120 for one of those. This for $90, and you cannot get away from that phenomenal runtime. I think if you're wanting to dip your toe in the water with crawling, or you're wanting something for crawling under shelter in place, then the CR24 is well worth a look. I'll put a link to it below the video. If you like what you've seen today, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.